Hello guys, this is the Mass Priestess. This is probably the 17th time I've tried to record this reading. I might put in clips from what I did have, but the big chunk of it right here is missing. So I will try to put in some clips from the beginning. Just overall, I want to say that, oh my gosh. I can't believe how hard it is to make this video for you guys. I also have a sinus infection, but I'm being so called to do this reading about how your maternal ancestors are here to guide and protect you. They have come in now. There is an individual that's trying to reach out to the collective, okay? They are trying to pull at the sacral and heart chakra, okay? They are arrogant and they are toxic. You've caught their toxic patterns. They do not like it. You have gone through death and transformation over and over again to still have your compassion and empathy. And they don't understand how you did that. They have literally tried to pull at your threads one by one to unravel you over the course of 7 years. And that 7-year cycle has been complete, and I will link that reading in the description box above. They still have come back around to you, okay? They are from your past. For some of you, this is an ex. Mostly for the collective, it's an ex. For other people, it's family, friends, people that you've walked away from, okay? They want your wise counsel, all right? They don't have the empathy and compassion that you have. They envy it, okay? And so they constantly go back in time and are constantly obsessed with going back into the past. This person might have said to you before, you're obsessed with the past. You need to let go of the past. You just need to move on. You just need to do this. You need to do that. You've done that, but they haven't. They are literally telling on themselves, okay? Because when they found you, they decided that your light was going to help them manifest their future. They needed your light, okay? They need your light in order to do it, to propel them to a future. You might have been with this person, saw this person, okay? Turn from one kind of person, right? And shift into this other individual you didn't fully recognize. And it seemed to happen overnight. But the reality is that this person uses masks, okay? It takes parts of people. I feel more like this person is more like an entity. They have like an entity within themselves, a demon within themselves that has to mask, okay, constantly in order to maintain. And what they do is they will mask in order to manifest. They can't manifest authentically the future that they want to have. They have to kind of steal from other people to do it. And that's why judgment's being called on this person. Because not only did they try to destiny swap, but they stole time. They stole energy. They stole an area of your life, but the reason it works for you is that because of what was stolen, it has caused you to become a phoenix and rise from the ashes. As you were trying to crawl out without support, without help, through this dark pit of despair and pain, they were sitting there with a shovel, digging more dirt underneath your feet so you would fall deeper. They weren't out there with a hand to try to help you, no. They needed to use you and your light to manifest. They were draining your battery. This is what we call an emotional vampire. But they were using mental tactics to deplete you, to bring you down, okay? You see through this now, okay? It's not hidden anymore. You know who this person is. At one point, I want to say you saw the real person behind this mask. Because of the fact that you refused to let them have entire control over you, they tried to get you to be completely dependent on them, okay? And you refused to do that. There was at one point where you were just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, that's totally against, you know, like, even your inner being, your intuition was screaming so loud, you were like, absolutely no. You refused something. They did not like that. But because you did that, they knew that they could finally drop their mask in front of you at some point. And they did. They dropped their mask. They said things. They did things where you got to see the real person. And I'm sure at some point there was some real genuine affection from this person. But I'm not even going to go there, because the darkness is much louder. Okay? The darkness is much louder. They wanted to chip away at what I would consider just average confidence that the collective has, okay? The collective is authentic. They are authentic beings, okay? They have this average level of confidence, okay? That they just, you know, they don't, the collective does not have to try, okay? To be anything but who they are. And yeah, it's not always great all the time, right? But you continuously maintain your true self. And because they try to unravel you, your ancestors, your maternal ancestors, the maiden, the mother, the crown, okay? They are now coming in. They are pissed. Not only are they setting fire rings around this individual, not only are they wearing all of these, I'm seeing like them wearing all these headdresses and everything, and they're surrounding this individual and making noises. They're screaming, they're hollering, they're yelling. This person's having nightmares because they want to make sure that whatever this person's trying to send you, it comes back to them more than threefold. I'm hearing 10, 100 times worse. They are sick and tired of this individual trying to pull on you and your energy, okay? There's a code. There's hermetic laws. There's universal law, okay? And your ancestors on your maternal side have said they have broken this. I have done a prior reading, the 7-year cycle reading. I think in that reading I mentioned something about spiritual treason. I know in one of my readings I have mentioned that before, and this is the same type of energy, okay? I'm really excited for when this moves past. We can start talking about other things, but I mostly want to, or not want, I'm actually being really guided and called to let you know that if you have any negative thoughts coming in randomly, or all of a sudden you feel fear and anxiety, that's just a distraction, okay? And your ancestors are coming because they're sick and tired of that shit. And if you start having any of these random fears, or all of a sudden getting anxious, and it's keeping you and it's distracting you from your purpose, your path, or what you really want to do, okay? What gives you joy, what gives you happiness, what you love to do, even with yourself, negative thoughts about you, put on some music that makes you feel good. Look up some meditations that are physical, like HUD, but it's HAR, okay? The 5 senses, reframing your thoughts, okay? Journaling about that, reframing your thoughts. But more importantly, as soon as those things come in, if you can't change your environment, change your mindset, okay? Really work on changing your mindset, reframing those negative thoughts that are coming in, okay? If you need external help, reach out to a therapist, a psychiatrist, okay? If you need support or guidance or anything like that, you can always comment or email me at themaskpriestess@gmail.com. I'm here to support in any way I can. It is You can also do Socratic questionings. These are things you can Google, okay? Bilateral stimulation. Music that makes you feel good. Be around people that make you feel good, okay? Take your cell phone on a date. Seriously, treat yourself. This is an opportunity where they are under judgment, and there is no reason for you to feel any of this junk that they're trying to send you, but some of it might slip through. The collective is extremely strong, extremely powerful, has lived through many lives, okay? But we are not impermeable to things, to life, okay? This person no longer has their strength that's being taken away from them. They cannot persevere like you can. It just can't happen, because the truth, they can't live in truth. Truth to them is kryptonite, because it would bring shame, sadness, grief, disappointment, and your maternal ancestors are coming in with this sword. They might force this person on their knees. They are extremely restless, okay? And they're trying to defend themselves, but they can't, because the thing is about creativity and passion and action is that when you aren't living in truth, when you aren't living in altruism, authenticity, then you can't create your own things. This is someone who's a copycat, steals ideas, steals other people's identities as masks to, I'm hearing, catch other people. They think of humans or other individuals, especially the feminine, okay, as objects to use for their personal enjoyment and personal gain, okay? But at first, they didn't seem that way. No, but they are extremely arrogant, and they are extremely toxic and obsessed. You broke the chain. They didn't. You lifted that thing. You didn't even just break it. You just like, yeah, nah, I'm just lifting myself out of this, okay? All right, I'm done. I see the pattern. I see the cycle. I'm clocked this individual. I'm done. And they cannot stand that you did that. They don't understand how you were able to maintain your compassion and turn around after everything they did to you and go, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? Do you need anything? Oh, you're suffering? You're suffering? Can I help you at all? You still did that. They just don't understand, and that's why judgment is being called on them. So, again, this is the Masked Priestess. If you need anything, please comment below. If this resonates with you, please comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can always email me, reach out to me. I'm also on Instagram under the Masked Priestess. And I'll see you in the next reading. Okay, my loves? Be well. God bless. And I'll see you later.